What would you like to see in South Downtown Indy? Where exactly is South Downtown Indy? Because there's a lot of discrepancy as to which side is east side, northeast side, northwest side, and specifically we're concentrating on the south today, and how you can get involved in what that's going to look like in the near future and the far future as well, with a plan that's being developed by the city and in partnership with GangGang, which is, you're going to hear a lot about GangGang, I hope, here on WRTV throughout the future, with Mali Jeffers, co-founder of GangGang, and Scarlett Andrews, the director of Metropolitan Development for the city. Welcome, first of all. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so let's answer the question. When you say South Downtown, what are we talking about? What is the demarcation line, if there is one?
Yeah, so specifically we're talking about the circle and then the south half of the mile square. And that geographic area really came to our minds because of some major signature projects that are happening from an economic development standpoint. So you think about the Gainbridge Fieldhouse renovation, the Bicentennial Unity Plaza right in front of the Pacers, and then a couple of major economic development projects right next to that around Georgia Street, the Convention Center expansion and the major hotel that is going to be breaking ground later this year. The Cultural Trail expansion, and then of course the Circle Center Mall is now seeking design concepts for redeveloping the mall. So all these major projects make up what is really the biggest investment in this part of downtown since the original Circle Center Mall came together. So so really it's about how do we leverage this momentum and think about what the experience is for everyday residents, visitors, workers in this area.
So you want to get ideas as to what to do down there. Why are you partnering with GangGang? How did they come into this?
Yeah, well, GangGang is a unique partner because they were able to bring some ideas to the table that we haven't tried before in terms of city community engagement. So I'll let Molly talk a little bit more about GangGang, but it was really about a unique partnership, being able to bring new voices in and trying out new things.
Yeah, and Molly, you and I, we talked along with your co-founder, Alan Bacon, when GangGang was first formed, and what you guys were planning on doing throughout the city when it came to culture, promoting the culture, the arts, what have you. But now you're partnering with the city on a future of a very important place.
Yes, and what a fantastic fit. So GangGang, as you mentioned, is a cultural development firm. So we are creatively working to develop the culture of Central Indiana. And so to partner with our local city government in Indianapolis to engage the public in the future of their downtown is a perfect fit, and to think about things like culture and vibrancy, and to ask the public to say what they want and to show images of what they want, and to get specific about again that vibrancy and the activity and the programming and the behavior and the culture of our place. And that's really important, and it feels good to partner in this way.
Well, and when you think of getting ideas, when you think of generating those thoughts, what's the first thing that comes to mind? And the first thing that usually happens is, oh, we're going to have public meetings. We're going to have formal meetings in a government building or whatever setting you want. You're not doing that this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've done that a lot, and we don't want to tire people on that. We did that as part of Plan 2020 a few years ago, and we've done that on and off again through different planning processes. And it's building upon those things that we learned in previous planning processes, but trying to reach people at different places, specifically online.
Now, and that's the thing is because, and well, the first thing that came to my mind when I saw how you were doing this and how you were looking to get the engagement is, who goes to public meetings anymore? It's really hard to get people with their schedules or for economic reasons to show up at public meetings these days.
Exactly. So we are going to where people are. We're going directly to where they are physically, which is downtown, and placing very large, well-designed banners on buildings in downtown places where the public already congregates, and online, where they are all day, every day, already offering their opinion on things that they want and they love and they don't love. And so we thought, well, what if we ask them what they want for downtown, where they already are? We'll go to them in their place and get their feedback there.
Was this something you were hearing about, or were you getting ideas online already, even before you started, you thought of partnering with GangGang and saying, well, we're getting ideas like this already, let's just go all in?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, online people, I mean, using hashtag Downtown Indy is kind of a natural thing to do anyway when you're hanging out in downtown Indy. And so that is the platform that we're using for people to go and offer more information. But yes, it's already in use, which is great. And so we can almost start to see a mood board develop for downtown, for the for the specific place, based on how people are talking about it via the hashtag.
So what are you hearing so far? I know it's early, but what kind of ideas are out there right now?
Everything you might expect. We are seeing between 35 and 40 tweets per day, which again, as you alluded to, is more than we see in public meetings, for one time, right? So over the course of 6 weeks, we're getting a lot of information about programming and activity and vibrancy, and really specific on benches and landscaping and all sorts of examples on how people want their downtown to be.
Scarlett Andrews, Director of Metropolitan Development, Mali Jeffers with GangGang. We're talking about the South Downtown plans and how you can get involved and how you can share those ideas. You mentioned hashtags. Those hashtags again are
hashtag Downtown Indy, and go to visionsouthdowntown.indy.com to see all of the hashtags and get more information there.
And you're taking comments on all the social media platforms, I
Correct,
take it.
on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay, so how long is this going to go on? How long does this campaign continue? And what do you do with the results? When do you take all these ideas and say, okay, we're going to take this, this, and this. Here's our plan.
So it's a 6-week push to really get a lot of feedback, and we expect that people still use the hashtag, and we can still pull that at any time. But it's really a 6-week push with the banners downtown, the partnership with Indigo on the advertisements, and the partnership in the airport advertising it as well, and then aggregating it on that website, visionsouthdowntown.indy.com. But then we'll be putting together the plan. So as I said, the plan is really about infrastructure, it's about connectivity, walkability, the experience of being in South Downtown. And so many of those things that Molly mentioned, like benches and shade and programming in those spaces, make it feel different. And so that's really what we're looking for, is those kinds of ideas. So this feedback will go into the planning process along with our consultants that are working on mapping where sidewalks exist, where you can bike around this area, where it is walkable, where you have kind of gaps in walkability or gaps in things to stop and do and see. And so we'll put all that together and make some recommendations about what we can do in the future.
How long does it take to, when you get a plan like this, how long does it take to fully implement something like that? Because obviously you got to go through governments, you'll have to probably go through city, county council, get some things done. What from the time we're talking now to the finished product, any ballpark figures to what we're looking at?
So you really think about long-range planning as a 5-year cycle normally, maybe 10 years depending on the planning process, but you're thinking of how do I make some recommendations on a phased about 5 to 10 year timeline. And so here we're really thinking about, okay, what's our low-hanging fruit? What are major infrastructure projects that would really transform and enhance this area that we can go ahead and start implementing? What are even lower hanging fruit, some programming and benches and shade and lighting and things like that that make our spaces like Georgia Street even more dynamic, in the circle as well. And then what are the longer term projects that would transform things? So you think of boulevard type walking experience on Meridian Street, for example, that would connect the circle to Georgia Street. That's probably a longer term project, but it is something that could be accomplished in 5 years.
Molly, besides the fact that you can say, hey, we helped craft this plan, we were part of the process, what does GangGang get out of this?
Gosh, we are all shaping the future of downtown. GangGang is headquartered in Indianapolis, so this is critical to all of our futures. And to Scarlett's point about this taking 5 years, maybe 10 years, we are excited to talk to students. We are excited to hear from creatives that are young right now, that and they're shaping the future of their place and where they're going to hang out, and that's vital to the culture of Indianapolis, and that's what we're working on. So this is an important thing for us.
visionsouthdowntown.indy.com is the website where you can find all this information, the hashtags, and how you can get involved in shaping South Downtown Indy, not just for the next couple of years, but for the next 10 years and beyond. And it's been so good to have you guys here today. Thanks, Scarlett. Thanks, Molly, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.